you were seeking clarity on, this is the place to be. A message will come through for you and you'll be like, oh my God, I feel like they're talking directly to me. Spirit is, that's how it works. So have no fear, you will get what you are asking for. And that includes if you were watching this as a recording over on YouTube. No matter when you're watching it, I believe that the divine is directing you to watch this when you need it. Somebody said they see my tan. Thank you. It might be Maybelline, but thank you. So let's see. The messages, yes. So I am a psychic medium. I also do channeled messages, the whole shebang, y'all. When I do these messages, when I do pull cards, I not only allow the cards messages to speak to the group, but any other messages that come through from spirit. That is just my general style of reading. Jacqueline will put lots of links over inside as we go through today's event. I don't know why I'm pulling oracle cards out first, but one of the things I want to let you all know is my special is usually a 30-minute reading with me is $88. It is still $44, half price, has been since December, but this is the last month that I'm going to run that special. It will end on the 31st of March. So if you have ever wanted a reading from me, now would be a great time to do that before the price goes back to normal pricing. I am trying to decide which tarot deck we will pull from today. That one didn't.
I'm sorry, Val, did you say it's going up as of April 1 or May 1?
Correct.
April 1.
Yes, this is the last month. I just pulled out Light Cedars and I was like, Light Cedars doesn't feel right. So hold on, let's see what other deck we're going to go to today. I'm listening to Spirit. Spirit's telling me to calm my ass down so I can hear. All right. You don't have to be so rude, Spirit. I'm kidding. Celtic Tarot. Celtic Tarot doesn't feel good either. What is going on? Where do you want me, Spirit? It shouldn't be that hard, so it's got to be my energy that's not settled. Okay. We're going with the easy deck. All right, what did she decide on? My fun deck. The one that has the coffee cups for the suit of cups. Ooh. Okay, thank you all. It's 11:11 here. That's a great time to get started and get into the card reading. I apologize for the slow start today. This is great. Oh, look, Stacy says she's late, but I'm just getting started. So divine timing. Woo, woo. All right, let's go. You all should have already set your intentions during the grounding. What a beautiful grounding. Thank you so much for Jacqueline. I put her on the spot though, y'all. She joined the room and right away I'm like, Jacqueline, I'm not ready. Can you do this and this and this? She was like, yeah, sure. So this is why I love my friend Jacqueline. Always comes through. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. All right, we've got our tarot cards pulled. Let's turn them over and see what messages are coming through from Spirit for today. And y'all know, some of you know, I don't turn my cards so that they're reversed. I do read reversals, but I don't turn my cards so that they're reversed. So when I don't even shuffle so that they're reversed because I'm a little bit OCD and I need all my cards facing the same way. Now I let Spirit tell me whether or not the card needs to be read as a reversal or not. I'm saying that to say one of my cards in my deck came out reversed. And when that happens, Spirit is emphatically emphasizing, I know that's a double word there, but Spirit is strongly emphasizing the fact that I need to read it in reversal. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it when cards come out and they're turned the wrong way. The very first card of our read, excuse me, this week is the reversal and all the rest are upright. The very first card. What is that telling me? That's telling me chaos is in the air. Y'all smell it? Chaos. I don't know what's going on, but something is flipped on its head. We'll get into the message in just a minute. It finally makes sense to me why things have been so chaotic. Y'all know we're going into a eclipse season. I feel like because it is such a powerful and monumental eclipse that we are beginning to feel the energy of that eclipse way before it gets here. Big astrological events like that happen that way. Also, today is the day of a full moon, new moon, full moon. Somebody said we had an eclipse last night. Today, the eclipse is today. Oh, that's right. We do the one little eclipse, and then when it flips on its head, the next month, end of April, is the big eclipse. That's right. Solar eclipse, then lunar. Lunar, then solar. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Lunar, baby eclipse. Solar, big eclipse. The solar eclipse, the big one, and the total solar eclipse is the one that everybody's talking about. And that's the one that happens in April. But that's right, I forgot. It's a lunar eclipse today as well. So no wonder we got energies all over the place. No wonder this card is on its head. It's an Ace of Wands, y'all. Aces are fresh new beginnings. Fresh new beginnings. And this one was on its head to start the week out, to start the messages for today out on its head. Ace, wands, fire energy, wands, your personal power, also inspiration, creativity. Wands is the suit of action, asking you to move into action no matter where you are in the suit of wands. That card, that message is about some kind of inspired action. I like to add inspired action because spirit is not just telling you to go out and do anything. It's telling you wait for the inspiration, hence wands, and then take the action. And if we have an Ace of Wands, something beginning, something starting, and it's on its head, spirit is saying, I've been telling you to do XYZ. And you keep coming up with excuses and reasons why now was not the right time or you're not fully equipped. And you've done that so many times that now this energy is on its head. You can procrastinate, you can make excuses, you can find your way to the action. We all do that. That I believe that's part of being human, where somebody says, hey, you should file your taxes. And we wait until April 14th to file our taxes, but we still file our taxes. But we have to talk ourselves into why we're not doing it in January and why we're not doing it in February and why we're not doing it in March. Okay, that's the path. For some of us, that's the path. When this card flips on its head, that spirit saying it's April 16th. It's April 16th. And for those of y'all that don't know, in the United States, on April 15th is the deadline to file your taxes, generally speaking. So when it turns on its head, spirit is basically saying, we're past the point of you being able to procrastinate and get yourself up to speed and come up with excuses. We're past that point. You should have already done it. And now you're into detriment. Now you're into the not necessarily negative, but now you are into, instead of just doing the thing, by not doing the thing, you have put more resistance on your path than what needs to be there. Now you're creating a block instead of just creating a challenge. So this, because it's on its head and because I don't usually read reversal, spirit is like, don't go any further with this energy. Whatever you have been feeling, maybe I should, I don't know if I should, whatever you have been ruminating about doing, this is an action step. Now is the time to do it. No more. No more excuses, no more talking it over, no more seeking opinions of others. Now is the time to do it. And maybe it's not the whole thing. Maybe you can break whatever that action is into steps and just do the first step. But you need to move into action. You need to get that momentum going so that you don't get stuck, so that that block that you are beginning to create, spirit is like, no, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You are beginning to create a block. And if you want that block to stay small so that you can negotiate around it, now is the time to flip that Ace of Wands back on its head and do something small to get the action and the momentum going. And then what happens if you do that? I love these cards. We have 4 more cards. I usually pull 5 of tarot. We have 3 of those 4s are pentacles and only 1 is cups. 3 of those 4s are pentacles. The significance of having a spread where the majority of the cards are a particular suit means that is the energy that spirit is trying to make us aware of, move us into. And pentacles is all about our earthly manifested world. What things in this world do we hold valuable? What things are we manifesting? What are we working, moving around? What are we trying to do? Pentacles is all about what is in our world that we can see, touch, taste, feel, and smell. It involves our relationships. It involves our career. A lot of times it also involves our money and what we do with that money, the things that we buy, the material things in our life. So we've got a lot of manifesting that is waiting for us to manifest. And we're over here creating a block. And I feel like that block is not as negative as we think. Most of the block, this is spirit talking to me right now. Most of the block is fear of change, fear of something new, hence the ace, and fear of the unknown. And that's why you haven't moved, because it's not just I'm procrastinating about this thing that I've done 100 times. That's not the energy that I'm getting. I'm getting that I'm procrastinating about this thing that I've never done before, that I feel ill-equipped to do, that I don't know if it's the right thing. And that's why I'm procrastinating. All of those statements are an example of fear, fear of something. So if we can move past that fear, we can get into the good stuff. We can get into the how are we manifesting and how are we calling these things into us. We have the Four of Pentacles first. And the Four of Pentacles, fours represent stability. Fours represent the beginning stages of stability. Fours also represent the first time. Four of Pentacles is the first time you might be beginning to experience that flow. That flow is going to come to you if you can get your Ace of Wands in the upright position. And so things start showing up, trickling in maybe in the beginning. And you say something like, oh my God, I've never had a 10-speed bike before. Let's say you're a little kid and you just manifested a 10-speed bike. Oh my God, I've never had a 10-speed bike before. Y'all gonna hear a little bit about my childhood. And it's brand new. I never get a brand new 10-speed bike. I always get hand-me-downs from my older brother. I'm going to hold on to this 10-speed bike for dear life. I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to mess the tires up. I don't even want to ride over pavement that's too rough because then it's going to get all dusty. And I just hold on to that manifestation so tightly that I suck all the joy out of riding a 10-speed bike as a young kid. It shouldn't be something that I'm anxious about. It shouldn't be something that I'm worried about ruining or worried about what if the newness fades away. It should be something that I'm enjoying, that I'm expressing my childhood through. Four of Pentacles is what happens when we get that new thing that we've been waiting for so long, and then we hold on to it so tight that we stop the flow or we suck all the joy out of it. So this has a good message and a bad message. The good message is you're starting to get and starting to experience that flow. You're starting to move into the stability of having things that you want manifest in your life. And the advice is don't hold on to it too tight. You manifested it so that you could enjoy it. Are you enjoying your manifestations? And then we move into the Six of Pentacles. Excuse me. And the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving. The Six of Pentacles is sometimes you are in a position to receive, allow yourself to receive. Sometimes you are in a position to give. Allow yourself to give when divinely inspired to give, and make sure that giving does not put you in detriment as well. So if you have $100, don't give $99 away. Give away what you can afford to give away. Maybe only $6 of those dollars is something that you can afford to give away that doesn't hurt. So you got the abundance coming in. You realize I got a little bit of surplus. Don't put yourself in a situation that's going to hurt that abundance, but giving and receiving. And also, are you in a period in your life where it is your turn to receive, but your pride is getting in the way? Something about you is not allowing you to receive the offers that the universe is giving to you, or the offers that your friends and family or others are giving to you. No, it's fine. I got it. Let me buy you a coffee. No, it's fine. I got it. Is that you? Giving and receiving. When you have a block to receiving, even if it's here in our physically manifested world, it is Pentacles. A block to receiving is a block to receiving. And if you're not receiving even of compliments, does anybody have a hard time taking a compliment? That's something I've had to work on the past years. I'm good with it now, but I had to work on that. It was like, you would think it would be natural. No, I had to work on it. Even if you have trouble receiving a compliment, work on that, because that means you have trouble receiving, period. Whatever comes after the receiving really doesn't matter. But meaning that you have a problem receiving a compliment, you have a problem receiving gifts from friends, you have a problem receiving free coffees at the coffee shop, you have a problem receiving XYZ, doesn't matter. You have a problem receiving is the point. And when you have a problem receiving, you also are creating restriction to receiving that flow, to being in the flow of abundance. What is the universe trying to give to me? If I can't even accept a compliment from a friend, oh my God, what else is the universe trying to send to me that I'm blocking? Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about community. Threes are usually about community, coming together, friendships. The Three of Cups is definitely about community. I'm trying to get the message that Spirit wants us to know in this moment as it relates to all of the other things around us. I think it's very much tied to this Six of Pentacles. I think these kind of go hand in hand. Being in community, maybe for the first time, maybe it's a new community, maybe that's going back to the action. Maybe you've been feeling like joining a new group or getting out more. It is springtime. A lot of us have those kind of inclinations, going to gym again, whatever it is. Once you get out into community, I feel like these two energies go hand in hand. It's the giving and receiving aspect and being in community. Is your community trying to support you and you're trying to be big bad Billy badass and you're not letting them support you? What's going on? But these two kind of go together. Giving and receiving, the energy of that, and being in community. I'm asking if Spirit wants us to know anything else about being in community. It is the Cups. So it is about our emotion and our intuition. This message seems to be individual for someone. This is not necessarily for the whole group, but I'm hearing testing your chops, and it's more about intuition. And it's kind of like when you're at home, testing your intuition, or in situations where it's just you and Spirit. That's cool. You're good. You've got up to speed with that. You're starting to trust your intuition. But when you're around others, other people's opinions, or just how do I feel around this person? Is it okay for me to trust the fact that I'm getting a good feeling? Or is it okay for me to trust the fact that I'm getting a red flag feeling? Then everything gets thrown off. So if you're at home, it's just you're fine with your intuition. But when you step out your front door and you start being in community, being around others, your intuition gets a little bit challenged. Spirit is everybody. I feel like this is specifically for someone. I'm hearing the terms test your chops, which means don't keep going back in. I just got a message that my internet might be cutting out. Oh, they're showing me a turtle now. They're showing me a turtle coming back into its shell. Every time you go out into the community, you feel challenged. Your intuition feels challenged. Maybe it's too much stimulus and you're just trying to figure out, why is my intuition so strong when I'm at home? But if I go into a crowd, I feel like my intuition is all over the place. I don't have a good beat on it. Spirit is saying when your habit has been to, well, I'm just not going to go out, or I'm just not going to worry about my intuition when I'm in a crowd. Spirit is saying that time for you is over. It's time for you to go out, and it's time for you to test your chops. Experience some uncomfortableness, experiencing those challenges. You won't know how to strengthen or how to work your community intuition. That I don't know where that word came from. You won't know how to work that unless you work it, unless you practice it. So get out in the open, allow your intuition to also be strong when it's around others, and just practice it, practice it, practice it. Spirit's got your back. And then we have the Two of Pentacles to wrap things up with. So we've had a 4, a 6, and now a 2. And the Two of Pentacles is choices. But for me, it's also, Pentacles is also that connection. It's showing duality. For me, the Two of Pentacles is more about duality, a little bit about choices. And I'm saying it's a little bit about choices just because we started out with you all making a choice to move into action. But more I'm getting about the duality. And the duality meaning Pentacles, yes, is here grounded in the earth. But also we know that we need that divine energy. And I keep gesturing like the divine energy is out here. It is, but it's also right here. And we need to turn into that inner divine energy as we go about manifesting, realizing that, yes, the creator manifested many things before we came into this existence. I don't consider it an individual. I consider it an energy of creation. Yes, that energy of creation put things in place, but then that energy of creation is also within me, which means when I want to create, I have that divinity within me. And so it's less about, it is about connecting to that divinity that is outside of ourselves, but it's also about remembering that in order to create, we also have to connect within ourselves. So there has to be an outwardly connection, the pinnacles outside of ourselves, and a spiritual connection outside and inside of ourselves as well. And we need both of that in order to create the life we want. We need that divine inspiration. We need that inspired action. We need that moment of brilliant, mind boggling insight that spurs us into doing something, and then everything starts working out. We need that connection to all that is, but that connection is also within us. That's where our true power of creation comes from. So I feel like this is just making sure, this is making sure that you know that yes, spirit is outside of you, but spirit is also within you. And a lot of times we forget about that interconnection. We're so used to looking outside of ourselves for magic and outside of ourselves for inspiration and divine input that we forget that we have it within ourselves too. So this is a reminder of that, the Two of Pentacles. All right, so that's our tarot portion. Let's see, I'm just looking over. Okay, some of that message really hit. I like it. April 8th is the solar eclipse. Y'all, I got my calendar all mixed up. I thought it was like the 27th or something. I used to be on top of that stuff. Y'all remember when I used to be the moon girl? I guess I just fell off that wagon. I forgot all about my lunar cycles. All right, I'm gonna get back on it. I need to send out a post today about the lunar eclipse. All right. Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, the next deck I'm going to, I don't normally go to, so this must definitely be spirit inspired. Oracle of Visions. Oh, I like that card. Riding Hood, card number 30. Just gonna let y'all look at that for a while. Every image in this deck is very vivid like that. A lot of symbols within every, and so sometimes I like to read this just based on the image, but we'll go and see what the author intended by this card. Oh, now this resonates. The card is Danger and Fear. Why does that resonate with us, class? This resonates because of that first card, the Ace of Wands being on its head, something holding us back. Fear. Danger, fear. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. And that's a quote from Helen Keller. So each one of the cards has a quote from like a famous person. I'm gonna read that one more time. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. And that's Helen Keller. The message says, in the darkness, our fears feed us. In the darkness, our fears feed from us and grow. Our imaginations nourish them and give them form. In return, they can weaken us further or trigger our defenses. This scene, a clear take on Little Red Riding Hood, reinforces the concept that danger may not always be obvious. It may be hidden or disguised. In some cases, we are utterly fooled or taken by surprise and will suffer the consequences. But very often, we have a sense that all is not right, that something is out of place, our intuition. Our basic instincts are triggered and our senses are alerted. Is this a time for caution or boldness? Is all as it should be? Is he all that he claims to be, meaning the big bad wolf? Is the offer too good to be true? Just some questions to pose in your current situation. So the thing that stood out for me as I was reading the text from the author is it says, Little Red Riding Hood reinforces the concept that danger may not always be obvious. Our danger, our fears may not always be obvious. Somebody told me I had a block. I went to a psychic on the internet on Monday morning. She said, get over my block. I don't know where my block is. Sometimes it's not obvious. She said I might be scared of something. I don't know what I'm scared of. Sometimes it's not obvious. Also, sometimes the source of it is us, and that's why we can't see it, because we keep looking outside for where's this fear coming from? Oh, me. That's where it's coming from. We forget to look in the mirror. So, just some clues about tuning into that. Seems like Spirit is really hammering in this message about letting go of fear, removing those restrictions in our life. Let's see. Let's go to angels and ancestors. I will check that, Nav. I'll check that, Nav, and I'm sorry, I just got a message, and I'll give you a funny little antidote too. So Nev, I will reach out to you with a message. So the next deck I'm calling Angels and Ancestors, y'all. The card I pulled, another wolf. Y'all look into wolf as a spirit animal and see if that has resonance for you. Wolves are showing up. That's twice, 2 cards with a wolf. If you feel that resonates with you, if you feel like there's an additional message, go ahead and Google wolf spirit animal and see what comes through for you. Okay, this one. Oh, I like this one. Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. I don't think I've pulled this card before, so I'm interested in hearing what this message is. Shapeshifter. Whoop. Okay, here we go. Shapeshifter. Valorie needs glasses for this particular book. Transform and unveil your gifts. The message, take your time and focus on developing your gifts and strength. And that reminds me of that 3 of Cups message, to where we're supposed to be practicing our gifts in open settings, if you felt like that resonated for you. About the shapeshifter, in shamanic traditions, a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species, or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. If there is a wild animal you are particularly drawn to or fascinated by, it's probably because you can transform into one in your meditation or journeying practice to go exploring in the other worlds. Ooh, what's your favorite animal? What just popped into your mind? Think about taking a meditation or a journey as that animal, sensing things through their eyes. When you shift into animal form, you can see the world through different eyes. Oh, I should have just kept reading. You can see the world through different eyes and tap into the animal's survival skills to help yourself through a particular situation. I'm seeing a lot of animals over there. Eagle, deer. Nev, I only know about eagles and eagle eye sight, but I'm sure they have many other gifts as well. But if you were an eagle flying through your life, maybe up in the sky looking at the situations in your life, what kind of special skills would that eagle have that maybe you can pull upon? All right, here's the extended message. You have been through many challenges and lows, but now you are in a space of transformation. You are moving beyond your past challenges and honing your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. All of your past experiences have only helped you see how strong you really are. You are an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways that people least expect. You have many talents that you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there is an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. Note if you are seeing a particular animal regularly, because, if you are seeing, I think there's a misprint. If you are seeing a particular animal regularly, it's because its medicine is coming to you. So I know we've already seen the wolf twice in today's reading. Perhaps look up that. And I pulled 2 cards from this deck. I usually only pull 1 card from each oracle deck. I'm gonna sip my coffee now. Got a whole cup of coffee here. I haven't even taken a sip of yet. And that first sip was delightful. Oh, it's always the first sip of coffee that gets me. All right. So I pulled 2 cards. So that first one, I think that first one definitely has meaning for myself as well. Shapeshifter. What y'all's, I want to hear more. If you have a spirit animal, I would love to hear what y'all's spirit animals are. I went to a metaphysical fair once, and I have obviously unicorns. I know one unicorns watch over me. And so I was sitting in this gallery reading, and this lady was going around telling everybody what their spirit animals were. And I expected she was going to come to me and say unicorn. Phoenix. I got Phoenix, y'all. And that has stuck with me ever since. Now, I will say, if somebody just tells you what your spirit animal is, check in with yourself and see if that resonates. And when I checked in, absolutely. I love the story of the Phoenix. Very much mirrors my life at certain points. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I think this is just a reminder to look back into that, to reconnect to that Phoenix energy for myself. That shapeshifter card really resonated with me. The other card that I pulled from this deck is Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. Who has spent so much time protecting their beliefs, their hearts, their space, their peace, that they have built up maybe too strong a defense? Spirit, I think, is saying, we got you. You are protected. Drop your shields. Let's see what the message says. Let's see. The message says, drop any shields. Oh, drop any shields of shame. I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for a minute. Have you ever thought of using shame as a shield? That's a new concept for me. Drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. Okay, now I can see where the shame comes in. If you're ashamed of your gifts or ashamed of sharing your path or your journey with others, I can see how that would be a shield to who you truly are. All right, this is about the Protection Guardian, about this individual. The Protection Guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. Oh, that makes perfect sense. She is fierce, protective, yet a loving warrior angel who carries an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into loving, protective force field that will keep you safe, but allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from lower energies, she is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. Ooh, I like her energy. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Feel into that. There's some people here, because y'all are my friends, that I know I feel that this message is strongly relating to your situation. But again, don't trust an internet psychic. Ask yourself, does this message resonate with me? So I'm going to read that one more time just in case you weren't paying attention. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Which means just because you were embarrassed the last time it happened, and if the same thing happened again, you are ready to shed that shame. You are ready to say, hey, this might be the 10th time I've dealt with this, but this time, no shame, no shame. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you in this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so that you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestors are here to help you realize this now. Ooh, that is a beautiful and powerful message. And I did not know that there was a protection guardian. Isn't that a beautiful image? I always call on Archangel Michael when I'm setting space and when I'm doing psychic work. I'm definitely going to start calling on her. That's just gorgeous. Michael and the protection angel. I wish she had a name. I'm sure she does. I'm going to have to look up and see if she has an actual name. Okay. So that is Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray.
I find it interesting she was talking about shame and in fear and shame, because your first oracle talking about danger of fear goes together so well.
Yep. And how it keeps us from moving forward. Yes. I'm going to go to, there it is. There's my deck. Oh, lunar eclipse, right? Lunar eclipse. We're in lunar eclipse. And also when the solar eclipse happens, so does Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna try to show up for y'all. I'm gonna try to make sure I'm sending out all the healthcare packages and messages so we can all weather this. Yeah, I don't fear Mercury retrograde anymore. I think it has to do with my chart and where I came in at. It's not as uncomfortable for me, but I know that it can be an uncomfortable transit for many. So I always try to like post about it, share about, you might want to try this, or this is how it's beneficial. Just so we have some tools, so that we have some tools to get through it if it affects you. I've also heard, I'm looking through Star Code Astros to find a card about the solar eclipse, and I'm not seeing it. I've also heard that if you were born during a retrograde, that the energy can be more inviting to you, like it doesn't really bother you. It just kind of depends, I think, on what skills and things you came forth in with. I can't find it anywhere. I could have sworn this deck had a card about eclipses. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, we're just going to have to spitball off of what Valorie knows about eclipses. Eclipses are chaotic energy. Absolutely. Does Valorie like chaos? Absolutely. I used to have a t-shirt that said chaos coordinator. Chaos is the precursor to creation. Creation comes from chaos. Things that are created can come from chaos. Sometimes we find our light by traveling through chaos. Chaos is not something to be feared. Chaos is just another aspect of all that is. So if we can keep that in mind, then we're not so fearful of chaos, and then we can reap the benefits of chaos. Every situation in our life has, we have the potential, the ability to see it as a beneficial thing. And so that's spirit asking us, how can we benefit from this chaotic period? What are the gifts that this chaos is bringing to us? All right, we got a little bit more time. I'm just trying to decide what the next deck is, and I'm being drawn to Mystical Shaman Oracle, which I don't pull from often, so that's great. Interesting. I'm reading the chat. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see. I'm just trying to get caught up on what you all are putting over in the chat as I shuffle these cards. Interesting. Oh, I do want to mention psychic development. Maybe this applies to you. Maybe you're okay with your psychic development journey or trek. But that Three of Cups card reminded me of how it's time to get out into the public to test your intuition. That kind of reminded me of psychic development. Many of you know, especially if you're on my mailing list, that I'm beginning a 3-month psychic development course beginning in April. You can find that by going to my website, Roll Unicorns and Coffee, and clicking on courses. That will take you to my course website, and it will be listed there, Psychic Development. Y'all, it's 3 months with me. We meet every 2 weeks, 6 sessions where I guide you one-on-one. It isn't a group setting, but one-on-one, I guide you to develop your psychic skills and whatever you are currently working on, whether you want to be a professional reader, whether you're just doing it for your own insights. How much, Valorie? $97. Ridiculously low price because I wasn't paying attention when I priced it. But $97, 6 sessions, 3 months. If you are interested, go to my website and check it out. All right, Mystical Shaman Oracle, the drum. Card number 15, the drum. See what that is. Oh, somebody said they were born during Mercury retrograde. I can confirm that I do have an easier time. Oh, that's awesome. Yay, I'm glad somebody finally confirmed that for me because now I can say I know somebody told me instead of I read somewhere. I like that. All right. So card number 15, the drum. The essence. The rhythm of the drum tunes you to the beating of the universe. Its wood frame links you to the trees and helps you journey to the lower world via the roots and the upper world through its branches. The drum skin gives the shaman the powers of the animal kingdom. Striking the drum calls forth the power of thunder and the rumbling of the earthquake. The drum invites a trance state where healing and prophecy happen. For those of y'all unfamiliar, you can listen to drumming, shamanic drumming, by going to YouTube and just searching shamanic drumming. The invitation of this card, this message, the drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. Same as the Ace of Wands, y'all. Spirit's coming to us again. Take the next bold step in your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. Ooh, that just made all my nervous system relax. I want some of that effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage because it's going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. And I'm reading between the lines because I feel like some of you, whoever this applies to, fearful of the unknown, fearful of that next step, that Ace of Wands being in reverse. It's saying the water, the current, the universe will take you exactly where you need to go, but you need to jump in once you jump in. And if you are scared of jumping in because you're not sure what's going to happen or what's on the other side, Spirit is not telling you, oh, once you jump in, everything's going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. Spirit didn't say that. Spirit said, hold on for a wild and glorious journey, but know that you're going to get exactly where you need to go. So if you're having fear of, I don't want my life to be chaotic if I do this thing that I think is going to make my life chaotic, and that's why I'm not going to do it. Spirit is not saying, just do it, it'll be fine. Spirit's saying, do it. It's going to be chaotic, but it's also going to be exactly what you need to get you to where you've been asking to go. Maybe the easy path is not the path to get you to where you're asking to go in a timely manner. So maybe you need to go through some chaos. Maybe there needs to be some upheaval in your life. Don't be afraid of that, because the gift of that upheaval, the gift of the chaos, the gift of the unknown and the change is what you have been asking for. And if you don't jump in, you can't be taken there. The medicine. You travel to the beat of a different drum. It's time to acknowledge you don't fit a mold or a role or a relationship that is not in tune with you. Find your rhythm. Respond to the heartbeat of the distant drum. The price you pay for lingering becomes higher with each passing day. Now is the time to move on. Ooh. That's the same feel that I got when I was trying to fill into why that Ace of Wands was reversed. when we talked about the time, the time frame. Like, it's okay, you lingered, you gave me your excuses, blah blah blah. But now, no, now it's been too long. Now it's time. And that last statement, the price you pay gets higher and higher with each day you don't take action. So I really like that message. I'm looking for my box, y'all. What did I do with it? Oh, I tossed it way over there. All right. 7 more minutes. Do we feel like we hit everything? Didn't we do some drumming in this chat? God, I love synchronicity. Oh. I want you all to concentrate on anything that you feel is unanswered, or anything that you feel you would like a little bit more clarity on. I'm going to allow myself to tune into that energy before I choose this last deck and pull these last cards for you. What do we need to know, Spirit? Isis Oracle. What do we need to know, Spirit? And this is by Alana Fairchild. I love her decks. Love all her decks. I've got to shuffle, and then we'll see. Spirit, what do we need to know? I'm hearing Spirit in my ear saying, this message will apply to everyone. So let's see what message we have. I know I haven't pulled this card before. Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Yes. Jacqueline, can you post the link to Tarot Unicorns and Coffee to the website? Knot of Isis. These are not numbered, so I hope they are alphabetical. I haven't gone to this deck in a while. I'm liking it. There we go. Knot of Isis. Knight of Isis. Knot of Isis. Oh, man, I can't pronounce words today. Okay. Energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. And this part is italicized. Each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, her protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. And then there's a whole bunch of text. We're not going to have time to go over the whole text. 3, 4 pages, 5 pages. This one is 5 pages. I will post this because I feel like if this message is for all of us, we need the full message. But in the interest of time, I will read the parts that I feel are standing out. Where will you post it, Valorie? Oh my goodness. Facebook. I hope you are following me on Facebook. There's Tarot Unicorns and Coffee on Facebook. I don't even know if we have that link. So Jacqueline, I don't know if you can find it or not, but I'm on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, just search Tarot Unicorns and Coffee. You will see my logo show up. I will post it on Facebook. If you are also, if you've ever donated to me or visited my Ko-fi shop, it'll be on Ko-fi as well. So those are the 2 places you can find it because I feel like this message is definitely going to be impactful to everyone. And there's a lot to it. And when Spirit told me before I even pulled the card that the message is for all of us, I think we need to know. I think we need to know. So let me find the parts that are standing out for me. I'll read the first paragraph. You are under the spiritual guidance and protection of the divine feminine. Part of your high destiny this lifetime is to heal and flourish through the divine feminine in her many forms, especially those forms that truly resonate and hold meaning for you. This healing will happen on your personal path and may well be part of the work that you offer in service to the world, which may simply be in how you live your life. Let's see. I wish I could read this whole thing, y'all. It's good. Here we go. Whether you feel the connection with an individual goddess or the divine feminine more holistically, as your soul braids or twines with her, you will feel your awareness and consciousness of your own divine feminine nature becoming stronger, more integrated, and a more balanced part of your life and sense of self. This is divine feminine energy, y'all. It does not matter what your gender is. We all have divine feminine. Let's talk about the knot or the buckle of Isis. The knot or buckle of Isis guides and stabilizes your energy field whilst it is in transition from one state to another. I know we all need that, and now I know why this is showing up. It's with the eclipse, with the moon energies, with life, with the collective. Everything is shifting. I hear that time and time again in a more emphatic what the hell is going on sense from all of the people, all of my clients, also from the spiritual community. So I know we need this. Guides and stabilizes your energy field whilst it is in transition from one state to another. Okay, that brings us almost to the end. I will post this, I promise, because I feel like this is a very impactful message and that we all need to hear it. If you have this deck, it is Isis Oracle from Alana Fairchild. Knot of Isis is the card. And we will end on that, knowing that we can call on the divine feminine, that we are being urged to incorporate and integrate that more fully, and that the knot of Isis is going to help us with that energy, or Isis divine feminine. Again, it said you can call on Isis herself or just divine feminine energy, but that's going to guide you and stabilize you. All right. Thank you all so much. This has been wonderful. I feel like there's just messages are just pouring in now that I'm finally getting up to speed. I might do some Instagram later. Y'all follow me on Instagram too. I need to get my numbers up. I might do some Instagram later because I do feel like the messages are just steady pouring in. I don't know if it's the energy of what's going on astrologically, or if it's the energy of the group, or if spirit's just like, hey, we got a lot to tell y'all. But yeah, I definitely feel those messages coming in. I'm almost a little bit sad. We're almost over, and I feel like, but there's so much more to tell you, and I usually don't get that feeling. I'm usually able to wrap it up within an hour. Thank you all so much. Tap in on your own. Tap in on your own. These energies are available to us all. Meditate, tap in, ask what you need to hear, and allow yourself to receive those messages as well. Thank you all so much. Use these messages to meditate, to create and manifest your life. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye, everyone.